Hi, I'm Chris with Syncit. I'm going to go over a quick start guide here. Highly recommend going through this video to get started using Syncit or download the text version on the website. You can find links to the app on the website as well. So after you download the app Syncit and open it, this is what it'll look like. So to get started, we're going to create a company. Information on the 30-day free trial and the subscription price, $19.99 per company, covers up to 15 users, 50 pieces of equipment. We do have higher level subscriptions if you have more than that. All right. Put in. So each email is exclusive to one account, so you can only have one company per email there. Put in your name. There are no restrictions on passwords, but use a password that'll keep your information secure. All right, so I've created a company Syncit. So the first page it takes us to is the user settings page. So you can add additional information for your account. Phone number is only used for the internal directory among your company. The driver's license, date of birth info, only use that if you need it for insurance coordination or something else. Syncit does not use that. That's only for you. Let's turn on all three notifications for your account. So messaging will give you notifications for new messages in the group. Text module. Payroll will give you a notification at the end of the payroll period if your certification does not match your times. And equipment will allow you to receive notifications from when servicing goes overdue on your equipment. One-time notification only. Highly recommend that. You got two teams here. Leave those selected for you. So admin lets you manage users, company settings, and payroll. Supervisor lets you create and manage checklists, certifications, equipment, and projects. They're mutually exclusive, so leave both of them selected. All right, we haven't updated anything, so let's add a user. All right, input the information that you need there. Select the team that you want them to have. And add the user. So that's going to send an email for them to reset the password. Make sure they download the app first, as the password reset is inside the app if you send it from the app. So luckily, the email also has a link to the app. So they'll see the email, have them download the app, reset the password, and they're hitting the road. All right, so add all the users you need, and then let's move on to company admin. So you can click the icon here. That's currently an icon of Syncit, but you can change that later, or you can find the company settings from the upper right menu. All right, general settings. So you can add a icon there to make that icon in the upper left be yours and be personalized. You can change the name at any time. The receipt email is when users upload a receipt, it automatically sends it to this email. So if you use QuickBooks and you do receipt reconciliation in QuickBooks, they have an email that sends it direct to there. That's what I use. I put that email in there. My employees take a picture of a receipt and it sends it directly to QuickBooks where I can manage it. All right, make your changes and update the settings. All right, payroll settings. So we have payroll periods of weekly, every other week, twice per month, or monthly. We have cycles, Saturday, Sunday to Saturday, any cycle that you want there. If you select twice a month or monthly, there is no cycle. It's just the 1st through the 15th and the 16th through the end of the month, or the 1st through the end of the month, as appropriate. Every other week, so if it's every 2 weeks, you want to match this cycle up with your currently existing cycle. So whether you're on the 15th through the 28th or the 22nd through the 7th. After you select your payroll, update payroll. At this point, you're not going to change anything. You see the warning there. So really the only thing that will change is if users have certified time cards. It will delete those certifications, but not the time cards. They'll just have to go in and click the certified time cards one more time. No big deal. We talked about the notifications earlier. So for the payroll notifications, we send one notification at the end of the payroll period for those who don't have a certification for all their time cards. So each payroll period ends at midnight, so you probably don't want to send out that notification at midnight. So enter the number of hours before or after. So 12 would be before if you want to do it. There we go. You want to do it before. There you go. Now it sends it Saturday at 12 o'clock. Service notifications for services that are due on a daily cycle go out once a day, and only those notifications that are due that day. So just select the time that you want that service notification. 10 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever works for you. If the update circle is yellow, go ahead and click it so that it actually updates. So 10:19, okay, we'll update that. Sounds good. All right, equipment types. You can add equipment types. That's really only for sorting lists of equipment. If you only have a few pieces of equipment, you probably don't need this. If you have 20 or 30 pieces of equipment, you may want to select some equipment types. You can add and delete equipment types at any time. Subscription status, so you can see the free trial ends there, and then you can click purchase or update a subscription. When it's time, you can see the different subscription levels. And then when you click one of these, it takes you to the Google or Apple App Store to make a payment. I've got this set up on a test function, so I don't actually charge my credit card, because I was making sure it was working. But anyway, all the subscription pricing goes through the App Store from there. All right. So let's do equipment next in the bottom right. So under tools, you can, at this point, you don't have any services scheduled. You can add new equipment in this block here. So we'll just do, we'll just add one equipment here, truck one. We'll call it a truck. We'll say it has 100,000 miles. You type the VIN in here and the tire size. Pretty handy for looking up parts later, I found. You can upload a copy of the registration and insurance from the web app. You can't currently do it from the native mobile app, but if you open it on a website, you can update those. And here's where you'll select notifications. So I'm saying that I want notifications for truck one when services go overdue. You can add any notes that you want in here. And now we can add some service schedules. So let's do that. So let's do oil change. And let's do it in miles, every 3,000 miles, 6,000. And then the last accomplished was at 100,000 miles. So we'll submit that. So let's show you how the notifications work. So it looks like I have an oil change due at 103,000 miles. Let's say any user goes in here and updates the mileage to be more than 100,000 miles. Update that, and I got a notification that, hey, that service is due. So services, you can do miles, hours, or days. Maybe it's once a year. You can also do both. It'll track both of them. If you do the days, it'll give you, and it goes overdue, it'll give you one notification on the day that it's due. So let's say we did that. Okay, we did the oil change. And now under service history, you can see that we did an oil change. So we did two. When we created the service, it puts in an initial service history. Now let's say you want to record a service and track it that you don't. That's not really a periodic service like a new battery. You can just add that. And now you can see it in the service history of a new battery. The date you did it, how many miles, and the person who did it. All right, so let's go to checklists. So where it says My Checklist, if you click that, sometimes some of these pages have other options here. For here, we got Modify Checklist, so we can add checklists. So I recommend you add checklists, equipment, certifications on a computer. It's just easier to do, but you can pretty much do everything on the app as well. So let's say we'll have a checklist one that they'll do your employees will do every day. So they'll check the oil, and then you can add things on here. Let's do update mileage. So if you click the pencil, we can link this task to a piece of equipment, which means when they click to complete the task, it'll open a pop-up for this piece of equipment, and they can update the mileage or look at other information as well. You probably wouldn't use it for this type of service, but you can also link a task to a service. So when they click that, it'll take them to the service to update the service from the checklist. All right, so we can select a user here, and then frequency. So as needed, this checklist will always show in the checklist due drop down so that you can complete it whenever, but it doesn't show overdue. But we're going to set this one for a specific number of days. We'll do it. Yep, I like every 1 day. So we'll do it every 1 day. All right, so let's see what that looks like from a user's perspective. So we've got checklist due. Yep, checklist 1 is due. And then all checklists, well, yep, I only have 1 checklist. So, yep, do the oil, update mileage. So here, this one is linked to an equipment, so they can update those miles there. If those miles go over a service requirement, you'll get a notification. And here's how they update a service. See, remember we linked that to a service, and they can update that right there in the checklist block. All right, let's do certifications next, since they're similar to checklists. So they're in the upper right menu there. So again, we've got some options here to modify certifications. So we'll add a cert here, just like checklists. Task 1. And then you can add a description. You can upload a file, which currently doesn't work in the app. You'll want to do that on the website. So the cool thing about certifications, if say you update a file that shows a safety video, they actually have to open the video before they can complete that certification. All right, again, assign users is the same. So certifications is pretty easy to work, very similar to checklists. All right, certification groups. So say you want to track a certification that has multiple child certifications, like for instance, I don't know, landscape company. So I'll put in like lawnmower cert, trimmer, driving a trailer cert. And when they're all together, when they have all of those, they'll show complete on that certification group. Here I've only got 1 certification to add to there, but if I had more certifications, I could add more. So now this is what it looks like from the user perspective. So we have incomplete, so they haven't done the certification. All right, so now they've completed it. So now it goes to the completed, but it's not verified. So the steps are the user or employee will complete the certification, and a supervisor will verify that they actually did it. How do you verify it? You go to Manage Certifications. Yep, here's a certification that needs verified. I'll look at it. Yep, they did all the steps. Talk to them, do whatever you need. Verify it. And now, for the user, it shows up as a verified certification. And they can see the steps if they want. And if you remember, we added certifications there to see what groups you're certified for. All right. Let's go to projects since we're on the All right, so projects, I don't have any assigned projects. Right now I haven't built the module to create projects on the app. So if you go into the website, you can create projects, add tasks as needed for the projects. I'll put out a video on how to do projects at some point in the future. All right, so let's go to time cards. All right, so here's how it looks from the user perspective. They clock in and clock out. They can add a time card, and then they can update time cards. I forgot to clock in, so let's change that and update it. Okay. And then at the end of the pay period, they need to go in and certify their time card. So they've got these 2 time cards here, and then for you to pull a report, they need to certify the time card. yep, I worked 1 hour. It's true and accurate. I certify it. So what's that look like to you? So if you open up the menu or the different time cards here, you got payroll. So there's the one user that has a time card. So that's how you can use payroll. So let's say they've got 3 hours worked here, and if you remember, they certified 1 hour, so they've only got 3 hours of they've got 3 hours of work, but they only certified 1 hour before. So you can see the certified time card button is red, and then if you go to payroll, you'll see the time for that user is red as well. So that person will get a notification at the end of the payroll period that they need to check their certifications. So that means that when you go in to do your running payroll, like your users, your employees should have already got a notification that their payroll was not ready to get paid. So hopefully they went in and fixed that before you actually get in there. All right, receipts. Receipts are pretty easy. Capture a receipt, upload it to the email we sent before. Messaging, similar to other messaging apps. This channel, you can add users. Boom. Open that app, open that channel, and go from there. All right, that's about it for the quick start guide. I'm working on videos for all of these modules here so you can understand and know how to take advantage of all the features of Syncit. All right, thanks. Have a good day.